child's pose. So big toes are touching, knees are slightly apart. Reaching those arms forward, taking a big inhale, rounding that back. Then exhale, reaching those arms out as far as you can. Taking a few moments here, just focusing on your breath. Setting yourself to that intention today, whether it's to bring peace, to bring happiness, relaxation, strength, whatever it may be, set that intention for today's practice. Anytime you find your mind starting to wander today, just bring yourself back to your breath, back to that intention. On the next inhale, I want us to make a big inhale through the nose for a count of 4. And then exhale through the nose for a count of 4. Another big inhale through the nose for a count of 4. And a big exhale through the nose for a count of 4. One more big inhale through the nose for a count of 4. And then exhale through the nose for a count of 4. On your next inhale, let's come up into a nice tabletop position. Wrists are under those shoulders, knees are aligned with those hips. We're going to begin with some cat-cows, just warming up our spine. So on our inhale, let's drop that belly, look up at the ceiling into cow. And then exhale, round that back into cat. Another big inhale, drop that belly, look up at the ceiling into cow. Exhale, round that back into cat. Another big inhale, drop that belly, look up at the ceiling into cow. Exhale into cat. Continue working with your own breath now, inhaling into cow and exhaling into cat. Really feel your palms pressing into the earth, getting grounded with every breath. Let's do one more inhale and then one more exhale. And then meet me back in tabletop position. So with that belly button pulled slightly in, I want you to bring those hands about 2 to 3 inches towards the front edge of the mat, and then we're going to start to make circles with our body. Now keeping that belly button pulled in to help support that lower back. As we make circles, start to notice any areas we might be tense or sore. Just press into those tense areas, release any tension you have built up in your body. If you have tension built up in those hips, just really sitting back, releasing that tension. Go one direction and then the other. And then whenever you're ready, come back into that tabletop position, sliding your hands underneath those wrists. Curl those toes under and press back into your first downward facing dog. So you can begin to pedal those feet, just letting that head fall, letting gravity take its course, feeling an entire stretch throughout the entire back side. You're lifting up your hips as high as you can towards the ceiling. You're pressing through the palms of your hands, feeling your arms engage. On your next inhale, come up onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, sink those heels down. Another inhale, up onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, sink down. Now on our next inhale, we're going to be like a big beach wave, okay? So you're going to round that back, coming into a plank position. And then I just want you to press those hips back up. So again, another big inhale. Come into a plank position like a beach wave. Press those hips back up. One more time. Come into that plank, just like a wave. And then come forward 2 inches, and we're going to chaturanga down. So keeping those elbows tucked in by your sides, slowly coming down until you get all the way down, and then release. Inhale, halfway up, nice little baby cobra, mini back bend. If you want an extra challenge here, you can lift those hands off the ground. Exhale and release. Now bringing your toes to touch. Okay, so bring the toes to touch, and then we're going to press up into that upward facing dog, where we're going to have our legs hovering off the floor. With your big toes touching, you're going to feel more of an engagement with your glutes and your hamstrings. Nice little back bend, and then exhale, press back into that downward facing dog. Looking up at your hands, walk, step, or jump your feet up towards your hands. Nice forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, nice straight back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale those arms all the way up. Exhale, mountain pose. Now I want you to rock back and forth to make sure all 4 corners of your feet are firmly planted into the earth. And then palms are facing forward, elbows are tucked in, your shoulders are rolled back and away from those ears. Chest is lifted and proud. Lifting up to the crown of your head. Closing those eyes a moment here. Bringing yourself back to the intention that you set in the beginning of this practice. On the next inhale, lift those arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Flipping those palms to face up, you're going to slide your hands underneath your feet so your toes are touching your wrists. We're going to get a little bit deeper into the stretch. So on our inhale, you're keeping those knees nice and bent. And then as an exhale, try to straighten those legs and straighten your back. You're going to feel a deep stretch in those hamstrings and those calves. Also a nice little wrist stretch as well. And you can release. And then let's do it again. Straighten those legs, straighten that back. Nice deep stretch. And then release those hands. Inhale, halfway up. Now as we're here, really pulling that belly button in towards that spine, keeping those shoulders down and away from those ears. Exhale and release. Step those feet back into that plank position. And then push those hips back into that downward facing dog. We're gonna do that beach wave again. So coming into that plank like a wave. And then press those hips back up. We're gonna do it one more time. Coming into that plank. And then press those hips back. And then on that next inhale, lift that right foot high. Squaring up your hips to the floor. And then opening up those hips to the side, bending that knee. Start to make circles with that knee. Now, if this is not in your practice, just holding that three-legged dog. So you're going one direction and then the other. And then you can stay here if you'd like, or if you want to flip your dog, you can flip over and then reach that arm up and over. Now, if this is not in your practice, just holding into that three-legged dog. If you are in the flip dog, you're just lifting those hips up as high as you can. Coming back into that three-legged dog. Bringing that foot in between those hands. Nice low runner's lunge. Now you can stay here if you like, or else you can drop that back knee down. Inhale those arms up. Sinking nice and low. Bringing your hands to heart center. Lean forward. And then left elbow is going to go on the outside of that right leg. Nice crescent lunge. Great pose for detoxifying our body. So your gaze is either up towards the ceiling or down at the floor. If you need to bring your feet slightly apart so that they're not in a straight line, it makes it a little bit easier for that balance. Now I want you to go ahead and drop that back knee if it's not already dropped, and then uncurl those toes. And then I want you to try to sink a little bit deeper with this twist. So see if you can look up towards that ceiling. And then release those hands, lift that knee back up, cartwheel those hands out into a nice warrior two. I'm going to turn so that you can see me. So again, with that warrior two, you're opening up your hips to the side, keeping a slight bend to that front knee. Shoulders are down and away from those ears. Inhale, front hand up, back hand comes down. Nice reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Again, you can keep that arm rested or else you can drop it down. Inhale back up into reverse warrior. Curl those hands down, right foot back to meet the left. Push those hips back, and then as a beach wave, come into that plank position, and then come forward a couple inches, and then chaturanga down. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into down dog. Inhale that left foot high. Really squaring up your hips to the floor. Feeling a deeper stretch in the back of that hamstring. And then when you're ready, opening up your hip to the side and then bending that knee, starting to make circles with that knee. So you're going one direction and then the other. Just feeling that nice deep stretch throughout those hips and the side. And then you can either stay here or whenever you're ready, lift that dog. So again, arm is reaching up and over. Trying to keep that wrist underneath that shoulder. Come back into that three-legged dog. And then bringing that foot in between those hands. Nice low runner's lunge. Now staying here a moment, you can drop that back knee. Lift those arms up. And then sinking nice and low. So with every breath, trying to get a little bit deeper if you can. And then bringing those hands to heart center. Lean forward, and then right elbow on the outside of that left leg. Nice little crescent lunge. Again, gaze either up at the ceiling or down at the earth. You'll notice one side is a little bit more flexible than the other. That's okay. That's normal. And then if your back knee is not already dropped, go ahead and drop it. Uncurl those toes and then try to get a little bit deeper in this twist. Really detoxify, massage those internal organs with every breath. And lifting those arms back up. Lift that back knee and then cartwheel out into a warrior two. Again, opening up your hips to the side, gaze over that front hand, slight bend to that front knee. Inhale that front hand up, back hand comes down, reverse warrior. And then extended side angle. Again, resting on that leg, or else bringing it down. Inhale that hand back up, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Left foot back to meet the right. Push those hips back, and then as a wave, come into that plank position. And then exhale as you trot around it down. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into down dog. Sit those knees down a second. Let's push back into a child's pose. Big toes are touching. Arms can either be reaching forward or else you can rest them back behind you. Just taking a moment here to notice how your body is feeling. Any areas of tension that need to be released. Bringing yourself back to your intention. On the next inhale, let's push back into that downward facing dog. Really lifting those hips up as high as you can. And then looking up towards your hands, get into that wave, really rounding that back. And then chaturanga down. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into down dog. Inhale that right foot high. Exhale, right foot comes on the outside of that right hand. So you're gonna have both hands on the inside of that foot. Now you can stay here if you like, or else you can drop that back knee down. I really want you to think about pressing out through the palms of those hands, just lifting up as high as you can. And then you can stay here if you'd like, or if you can take it a step deeper, you can come down into those forearms. Again, you can always drop that back knee whenever you need to. Great stretch for those inner thighs. And then pressing back up onto the palms of the hands. Right hand is going to come up with a reach. Another little twist. Another great way to detoxify and also lengthen our muscles at the same time. You're lifting up, reaching up as high as you can. And then right hand comes down. Right foot back to meet the left. Push back into that downward facing dog. And then inhale that left foot high. Exhale, left hand on the outside of that, or left foot on the outside of that left hand. Again, you can stay here if you'd like, or else drop that back knee down, really pressing out through the palms of the hands. Really connecting with the earth. And then you can either stay here, or you can come down onto those forearms. Again, drop that back knee whenever you need to. And pressing back up into those hands. If you're not already, lift that left hand high. Nice little twist. Reaching that arm up, reaching that hand up as high as you can. Lengthening your muscles. And then bringing that hand down, left foot back to meet the right. Push those hips back. And then I just want you to walk your feet up towards your hands. In that nice forward fold. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your hands all the way up. Exhale, mountain pose. Making sure all four corners of your feet are firmly planted into the earth. Shoulders rolled away from those ears. Closing those eyes a moment. Bringing that mind-body connection, noticing how you're feeling. Then opening your eyes, hands come to heart center. You're gonna step your right foot back. And so we're creating like a 90-degree angle with our feet. Arms are gonna reach out. What we're gonna do is on the next inhale, you're gonna reach that hand as far as you can forward. And then when you've reached as far as you can, drop that hand down. Then right hand comes up. Nice little triangle pose. Now you can hold on to the shin, the ankle, the floor, whatever feels comfortable for you. Gaze is either up at the ceiling or down at the mat. Keeping that belly button pulled in slightly. Strengthening our core as we strengthen and lengthen all the other muscles in our body. Now dropping right hand down, left hand comes up in a reverse triangle. Feeling that twist. Now if this is not in your practice, just hold on to that regular triangle pose. And if you are in this reverse triangle, you're reaching that hand up as high as you can, feeling the lengthening of the muscles. Drop left hand down, right hand comes back up, and then using your core, slowly come up to a standing position. Good. Turn those feet opposite direction. Elbows down, or shoulders down and away from those ears. Reaching out through opposite fingertips. On the next inhale, start to reach forward as far as you can, and then whenever you're ready, drop that right hand down, left hand comes up. And again, you can rest here, or your ankle, or the floor. Now you can stay here, or else we can turn into that reverse triangle. So left hand is down, right hand is up. Feeling a deeper stretch in those hamstrings and in the glutes. So right hand comes back down, left hand comes up, and then using your core, bring yourself up to standing position. All right, so both feet are pointed out to the side now. Hands are by your hips. I want you to lift up to the crown of your head. Take a big inhale. Exhale, fold halfway down. And then keeping that core embraced. Take another big inhale. Exhale, reach all the way down towards the floor. You can keep as much bend to your knees as you need to. Just letting that head fall, let gravity take its course. So you can shake it, yes and no. Release any tension built up in that neck. Letting go of any stresses we had for the week. Just visualize the stresses just shaking away. Walk your hands over to the right. And then just bringing your chest as close as you can to that leg. Feel a nice deep stretch in the hamstring and in the calf and that glute. And walk your hands over to the left. And bringing your chest as close as you can to your leg, feeling a nice deep stretch. Bring your hands back to center. And then you can stay here if you'd like. If you want to try to walk your hands behind you, you can. Or if you want to hold on to opposite ankles to pull yourself deeper, whatever feels best for you, go ahead and do that. Feel a nice deep stretch in those legs and those arms. But then on the next inhale, lift halfway up, bring those hands to your hips. And then exhale. And then another inhale, lift all the way up. And then do like a nice little mini back bend. Exhale and release. Step those feet up towards the front edge of the mat. We're gonna come on down to a nice seated position. So what we're gonna do first is a pigeon pose, but we're gonna do it from the seated position, or starting from the seated position. So what we're gonna do, you're just going to straighten your left leg is gonna go back, all right? So you're gonna create like a number 7 with your leg. So you're just gonna roll into a nice pigeon pose here. All right, it's a little different than how we normally do it. So what you're gonna do then is roll up onto those hands. And then I want you to try to scoot that right foot as close as you can towards that left hand. See how parallel you can get your shin with the front of the mat. And then again, you're just sinking those hips down. You can scoot them back a little bit. And then you can stay here if you'd like, or else you can come on down to those forearms. You should feel a nice stretch in those glutes and in those hamstrings. With every breath, notice yourself sinking a little bit deeper into the pose. Take a big inhale, exhale and release, and then we're gonna swing our legs around to do the other side. So now your left shin, you're trying to get it as parallel as you can to the front of the mat. And then you're just kind of sitting up, pressing up into the palms of the hands. And then just trying to scoot that back leg as far back as you can, just feeling a nice deep stretch. You'll feel tighter on one side than the other, that's okay. Now you can stay here if you'd like, or else if you want to come back down onto those forearms, make it work for you. Making sure not to hold any tension in our neck. Gaze is at a nice neutral position. And then on the next exhale, press up and then face the side of your mat. We're gonna come into a seated straddle. So both legs are out and straight. You're flexing through your feet. I want you to think about lifting up to the crown of the head. Your shoulders are rolled back and away from those ears, releasing any tension we have built up in that neck. Your core is embraced, belly button is pulled in. What I want us to do first, bring in that right hand, and you're going to just slightly pull that ear towards that shoulder. You should feel a nice stretch throughout the shoulder and the neck. Continue to lift up to the crown of the head. Now, if this is too much pressure on your lower back, sitting up nice and tall, you can always bring one foot in while we're doing this. Exhale and release. All right, other side. Pulling that ear towards that shoulder. Your eyes can be closed or open, whatever feels comfortable for you. We surprisingly keep a lot of tension built up throughout our neck and our shoulders. So this is a great stretch to release that tension. And then release. And then bringing your chin as close as you can to your chest as you're still sitting up nice and tall. Try to feel a stretch in that upper back. And then release. Okay, so taking a big inhale up. Exhale, square up. And then fold over that right leg. So you're reaching for shin, ankle, foot, wherever you can reach. Making sure that we're flexing through both feet to keep both legs engaged. And also making sure that you are folding at your hips and not in that back. You're keeping your chest nice and lifted and proud. Now I want you to take a big inhale. Then on the exhale, I do want you to go ahead and round that back for a second. You should feel a nice stretch in the upper back, in between the shoulder blades. Just letting that head fall. Maybe bringing your forehead towards your knee as close as you can. And then release. Okay. Big inhale up. Exhale. Fold over your other leg. Again, at first just folding at those hips. Reach for shin, ankle, feet, wherever you can reach. I want you to notice the difference between folding at our hips and folding at our back. So when folding in our hips, you should feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings and the back side of the body. Take a big inhale. Exhale, and then fold and round that back, trying to bring your forehead towards your knee or wherever you can reach it. And then here you should feel more of a deeper stretch in the upper back. Exhale and release. All right, take a big inhale up. Exhale, bring in those hands to the center and start to walk your hands as far out as you can. Now, this might not be very far, and that is okay. I want you to continue flexing through those feet. And again, you're just trying to get that chest as close as you can to the floor. And if it's nowhere near the floor today, that is okay. This is a practice. The more we do it, the little bit easier it gets. Just breathing into this pose. Inhales and exhales through the nose. Take a big inhale, exhale, and release. All right, sliding those feet towards the front edge of your mat. Now slowly coming down, one vertebrae at a time, until we're nice and on our back. Sliding those feet as close as you can to your bottom. On the next inhale, I want you to lift those hips up. Nice bridge pose. Nice to stay here if you'd like, or if you want to take it a step deeper, you can clasp those hands behind you, and then you can kind of just lift up onto those shoulders. Just continuing to lift up those hips as high as you can. I don't know about you, but this music is so relaxing, it's about to put us to sleep. Release those hands. Bring those hips back down. And then grab that strap if it's not already handy and just have it right by you. We're gonna get to that strap or the towel, whatever you have. Straighten your left leg and then bring that right leg up. Start to make circles with that ankle. Going one direction and then the other. And then start to make circles with that knee. Really releasing the tension in our hips. I think this is the point, if we were face to face having a yoga session, we'd probably start to hear some snoring. This music is very relaxing. Almost too relaxing, that's okay. So one direction and then the other. And then whenever you're ready, grab that strap or that towel. Flexing through your feet, wrapping that strap or that towel around your foot. Again, if you don't have a strap or towel, just hold on to your leg. On the next inhale, lift that leg up. And then exhale, try to bring that foot a little bit closer to you. So with every inhale, try to straighten that leg just a little bit more. And then every exhale, try to bring that foot a little bit closer to you. Feel that nice deep stretch in the backs of those legs. You keep those eyes open or closed, whatever feels better for you, more relaxing. Again, with every breath, try to get a little bit deeper into this pose. Grabbing both straps with your left hand, your right hand comes down. On the next inhale, take your foot over to the left, about 2 to 3 inches, just until where you feel that nice stretch along the entire side of your leg and that IT band. And then just hold it here. Continuing to pull that foot as close as you can to you. It'll feel a little uncomfortable, but that is okay. Just notice the difference between the discomfort and pain. We don't want it to be too painful. So if you need to release that strap a bit, then release that strap. Then bring your foot up to the center, grabbing both straps with your right hand, and then take the foot over to the right, just opening up that hip. Bring both straps, or bring your foot back up to the center, then releasing that strap. And then right foot down to meet the left. And then just noticing the difference in the lengths of your legs. Let's bring that left leg up now. And on the next inhale, start to make circles with that ankle. So go one direction and then the other. And then dropping that right hand down, start to make circles with that knee. Just really releasing the tension we have built up in those hips. Just visualizing all that tension and stress just being released. leaving your body. Go one direction and then the other. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and grab that strap or that towel. And then flexing through both feet, wrapping that strap around that foot. And then on your next inhale, start to straighten that leg. And then on that exhale, try to pull that foot closer to you. And on the next inhale, straightening your leg a little bit more. Then on the exhale, pulling it closer to you. Continue with your breath, getting deeper and deeper into this pose. Feeling a nice deep stretch throughout the entire back side of those legs and then those glutes. And then grabbing full straps with your right hand. Left hand comes down. Take your foot over to the right about 2 to 3 inches, just until where you feel that nice deep stretch and that IT band, the side of that leg. Then just continue pulling that foot nice and close to you. So important for us to continue stretching out this IT band because it helps prevent future injuries. Also, a lot of times when we feel we have certain tension or certain pain in either our ankles or our knees or our hips, sometimes it's really just a tight IT band that needs to be stretched out. Bringing that foot back up to the center, grab both straps with your left hand, and then when you're ready, opening it up to the left. Bringing that foot out as far as you can. Bringing that foot back up to the center and releasing that strap. Go ahead and move that strap out of the way. Left foot down to meet the right. Palms are facing up. Let your feet just naturally fall to the sides. Gently closing your eyes. Doing a quick body scan to help release any tension we have built up anywhere in our body. Starting with our feet. Visualize your feet. Think about them just naturally just relaxing, releasing any tension you have built up. Bringing it up through the calves and the shins, release any tension. Bring your awareness up through your hamstrings, your quadriceps, up through your hips. Release any tension up through that booty. Bringing your awareness up through your back, releasing any tension, taking your way up through the shoulders, out through the arms and the hands, release any tension. Bringing your awareness up through your stomach and your chest, release that tension. Up through your face and your head, just let any tension go. Naturally, letting the feet fall to the sides, letting your fingers just naturally uncurl, releasing any tension you have built up in your face or in your jaw, keeping those eyes closed. Taking a few moments here to come to your happy place. Whether it's out on a beach somewhere, or it's somewhere in the mountains, or even if it's just your backyard, wherever your happy place is, take yourself there right now. Think about what you see there, what you smell, what you hear. most importantly, how do you feel when you're at this happy place? Experience those feelings right now. On your next inhale, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Make circles with your wrists and your ankles. On the next big inhale, lift those arms up over your head, nice total body stretch. Then exhale, roll over onto your side, resting your head on your arm. Taking these last few moments of this practice just to thank yourself, to appreciate this time you took for yourself today. Your body thanks you, your mind thanks you. We need this time for ourselves. On the next inhale, come up into a nice seated position, crossing those legs. And then palms are either facing down to harness the energy you have in, or palms are facing up to receive energy for the day. Lifting up to the crown of the head. The light in me honors and cherishes the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for taking this time with this yoga practice.